What's up, everybody? Welcome to the FU podcast. This is episode 209. It is June 11th, 2024. I'm your host, Devin Ewart, and with me is my esteemed colleague,
the one and only Andy Henning.
Yeah,
Frosty the Snowpit. Those of you who have been around know what that means.
Word. Why is it not auto switching? That's weird.
What the oh no, is it? Oh, there it is. It switched that time.
Yeah, that's weird. It's probably because it knew I was going to open it up.
Okay. I see what you did there. Okay.
Yeah, so it's being special apparently.
Nice. Very cool. How's everybody doing this evening? Are y'all hanging out there? Just relaxing, chilling out, maxing, relaxing outside of the school, or playing b-ball outside the school?
Word.
Acting all
Way
cool.
to butcher that.
Yeah, acting all cool. Wait, damn! All of the Fresh Prince fans are gonna be like, "Dude, you suck."
So how you been, brother?
I've been good, man. Life has been good, sort of.
That is awesome. Yeah, today's been like an epic day. Like literally, it was the craziest fucking day. Like, and that's why I was like, wait until the podcast to tell you about it.
Interessante. That sounds like we might have to get into some of these stories here or something. That, interesting life of the D.
Of the D.
Wait a second. Did I didn't mean that. Did you have anything in docs pulled up, or are we good to go our own way as far as that's concerned?
I only had a few things in the docs.
Because I am not in the docs.
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on. I might be.
Yeah, you could.
Oh, there it goes.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should be able to access it.
Devin went ahead and hooked me up with a MacBook this evening, not personally, but for the studio. So I'm just busy steering. So as usual, technical difficulties.
Yeah, this time it wasn't on my side; it was on his side because I wanted to surprise him. I said I sent him a text message. I was like, "Hey, don't bring your laptop." And of course, he didn't get the text message until he was in my house with his laptop.
Nope.
And so I told him, and I'm bad about this too. Andy has to tell me stuff all the time. He's like, "Did you check my text message? Like on the way home tonight?"
Yeah.
Thank you for the heads up, by the way.
Like, man, that shit sucked, dude.
Dude, it was, and you weren't lying, man. I was even on the expressway, and it was like fucking parking lot. Yeah.
The expressway wasn't as bad, but it was slowing down when I saw it, and I was like, damn. And then the service road started slowing down, and then I was like, well, shit, I got to go to the dollar store, so I get off at Lake Dallas.
I was wondering because I was like, how did I drive all the way from Arlington, leaving at 4:30, and you left Louisville
at
4:45?
I had to pick up some soda.
I was gonna say, I was like, somehow I beat Andy home. I was like, this does not.
Well, I was sitting in the middle of the bridge probably by the time you got to Main Street. So, and then that combined with actually stopping at the dollar store, Dollar General.
The DG.
The hood. Man, that place is ghetto.
Yeah, dude, it's sketchy.
They charging out the ass for some Sprite.
Are they really?
$9.47 for a 12-pack.
Jesus.
Walmart's cheaper.
Wow.
Yeah. Dollar General, shame on you.
I think I paid $13 for all those sodas that you saw in the fridge.
You're fired. I will say they did have a full 16 ounce or 20. I think they're 16 ounce bottles of the Baja. I will say I found them there. I don't usually see bottles. Baja Blast.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what the deal with Baja Blast is, but it's hard to find.
But it's good.
It is really, really good.
Yep. So is the sherbet or whatever ice cream it was.
What?
Yeah, they had a Baja Blast flavor.
Where the fuck is this ice cream?
I sent it to you.
Not the actual ice cream.
Sure.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that was no. I sent you ice cream. I sent you one of the ice cream. It's supposed to be. Maybe I'm thinking I really did it. Maybe it was sherbet that I had then.
Because I know they made ice cream, and I was like,
why do I feel like I've had? No, maybe I haven't. But they
I looked for it in the stores. I didn't see it, so therefore it doesn't.
It might have been actual sherbet then. I might have just been the lime sherbet.
I
feel like maybe I'm thinking of a lime chill. Please don't pay attention.
Well, I know you sent me the link or something for Mountain Dew. Was it vodka or was it alcohol or was it ice cream? I can't.
There was an alcohol one, and I also
That's
sent
right.
And it was one of our text groups, and I was like,
"Yeah,
Devin, Baja Blast ice cream,
dude."
Yeah,
I've been all over that.
That is definitely a Devin Devin need is some Baja Blast ice cream.
Hell yeah. Imagine an ice cream float in Baja Blast with Baja Blast ice cream. You have a Baja explosion.
That'd be kind of cool. I don't know. Baja explosion. Leave that up to your imagination out there, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you who are hanging out with us. Who is hanging out with us this evening?
I have no idea.
Do we have some players in the audience?
I don't know where everybody is today.
I don't have any notifications of us going live. Like we are live, but I didn't get any notifications that we went live. But anyways, doesn't matter. Looks like Donna's hanging out with us. Always hanging out. Dedicated fan. Appreciate you, Donna. Thank you for tuning in. We're just getting things started up in the studio this evening.
Yeah, so let me hit you talk to you about this day. So I found this freaking yacht that like I was eyeing, and it's in Florida, right? So I was like, it's in this auction site or whatever that they sent me the link to. And anyway, the auction was today. And so they had like a bunch of different boats, and they had like this huge ass dude. This yacht was like, I think it was 54 feet. Yeah, like literally, it had 4 bedrooms in it. or they call staterooms or whatever.
54 feet. That's about as long as my house.
Well, to give you a reference, a semi-trailer is usually the largest size is 53 foot. So this is larger than a semi-trailer.
Pretty big. I mean,
yeah,
semi-trailer stretches almost the length of my house, dude.
Yeah.
So when I say that's the length,
it probably is.
No pun intended.
So they had that, and then they had a 4 Winds that was, I want to say it was a 26 foot, but it was a Cuddy cruiser. They had a bunch of different things, and then, anyways, they had some FedEx trucks, and they actually had a semi. Oh, and dude, they had this motor coach. It was like one of those $1 million, like, that you see rolling, like that. You think like a superstar or something's in, like a musician or something, like one of those type things with like 4 slide outs and shit in it. I was like, dude, I want that. But it ended up going for, I think, around $20,000. That boat that I was telling you about, or the yacht.
I don't have 20K.
Yeah.
Just to be like, hey, you know what? I can take that out occasionally. And the thing is, like, I've seen the yachts on Louisville. Just like,
well, and the yacht sold for $65,000. But that's still it's a $500,000 boat.
But like,
yeah.
Like I have trouble like visualizing a $500,000 boat being on a lake, dude. That's just me. Like,
yeah.
Remember that one that pulled up on us? What was it, last year? That like it had the windows on the bottom of it.
Yep.
Like, and it was like
that's
one of my through the water.
It's one of my favorite boats. It is the most beautiful boat out there.
I expect that boat to be pulling up in Miami.
Right? Yeah, no, and that's where you find them actually, is in Florida.
So you see where I'm going. It's like you're on Louisville, which I know it's a popular lake, but it's not a great lake.
Well, it's like, where are you gonna go? Like out in the open ocean, you can go to islands. You can go see, like, you could stop at restaurants.
Yeah, you're not like you're stopping at fucking Sneaky Pete's.
Yeah, like literally got 2 options: Sneaky Pete's or 121. Like, that's
they charge you for water. Like, but no, like it's not like you're going off. We'll just hop on the Trinity and go to the next lake. Like you can.
Right? Yeah, we'll just go to Ray Roberts. We'll just connect to Texoma. We'll just fucking go down the waterways or go up the waterways.
You don't want to be waterlocked, landlocked, whatever you want to call it, and a boat like that.
Yeah,
like that's just my feeling. I could, so I'm sure whoever's rich enough to do is probably like, shut the fuck up and do it because I can. But still, like if I had that money to spend, I'd have it in a slip somewhere down near the coast.
And that was the other thing. So I acquired to see how much the slip fee is over there. $1,600 a month. And I was like, that's a fucking mortgage.
Where's that at?
It's in Florida. I forget the name of the town.
Well, no,
it's on the Gulf side though, not the.
That may be your fucking mortgage, sir. That's not a mortgage these days. That is rent.
Yeah,
that's a rent on a 1-bedroom apartment downtown. Right. Fucking 700 square feet. And just because it's location.
Right.
But no, yeah, dude, that's asinine. But if you have a boat that big, you probably can afford the slip to put it in.
Yeah, exactly. So, needless to say, I didn't get the yacht, and I didn't get the any of the motorhome, but I did pick up a FedEx van. I picked up a Ford Econoline 2011, I think it is, van. So if you see a FedEx truck parked out here,
You did.
it's just me. I knew you'd get a kick out of this.
Is the FedEx still on it?
Yes, it still says FedEx on it. I was like, dude, I'm just gonna go in random people's yards and set off their Ring doorbells, and they're gonna get pissed off at FedEx.
No, what you should do what they actually do, and Brent walk your empty packages and punt it onto. You know what I'm saying? Just empty
dude, we
boxes.
can make so many good videos.
Yes, we could. Like
running over trash cans and shit.
we
Fuck your trash cans.
We'd have to like doctor the logo just right so we couldn't get truly in trouble,
Right?
like X-Fed, like
X-Fed.
like,
Oh, that
yeah.
sounds
X-Fed.
That sounds
But yeah, you know, like it's just
so needless to say, I got to go to Oklahoma on Wednesday to pick this thing up. That's where it is.
oh man, I don't even know what this. When did you see this thing? Did you find it online?
Yeah, because remember, I was in the auction with the boat and the motorhome. I was like, well, I'm coming home with something, goddammit. Got me a FedEx van.
What do you plan to do with it?
I'm actually, you know, it's funny you were talking about the school bus and modding and deck.
Oh,
I'm gonna convert it into an actual, because here's the cool thing is there's no windows in the back, so that means ain't nobody seeing what's going on.
He doesn't mean what y'all think, folks. There's no candy back there.
Yeah, there's no candy in there.
Like he looks at me, he's like, "There's no windows back there." Like, okay, Diddy. Okay, no doubt, man. That's cool. You know me, like where my brain goes when I hear FedEx panel van. Like, I don't think of kidnapping. I think of like,
oh shit,
like 13, 15s. You know.
Oh yeah,
fourth order.
Oh my god, you imagine the box you could put in that?
Yeah, I see them all the time.
Dude,
you don't understand.
Build the ultimate stereo system in this bad boy.
So you could probably, the likelihood, if you put a speaker company's name on the side of your van, you could probably get a lot of the equipment sponsored. But the material to build this correctly, it's a whole different fucking story. The material to build this correctly to where it would be able to handle that much bass, that shit's still going to cost us out the asshole.
Well, the cool thing too is it came with a complete 360 camera system.
Yep.
So you can see like everything going on around the vehicle at all times, which is, I was like, dude, that's pretty badass.
Man, dude, that would be, oh my god, that would be probably a 2-year project. If we did that. Like building it into what you're talking about is going to be something like that too.
Oh yeah,
but yeah. The amount of work that they put into some of these competition vans, which is what we would do with that, we would have people tapping out. And the thing is we got a company right down the street in Grapevine that if you could talk them into a fucking sponsorship, dude, they make
really
nasty equipment. Yeah, Crossfire Audio out of Grapevine. They make fucking dope fucking quality equipment.
I never even knew that, and
that's
never even heard of them before.
So they do bass shows every now and then. That's where I've actually gone locally to see some of the bass shows. They only do like 1 to 2 every maybe 3 months, 4 months. It also depends on if there's like they do a lot of stuff for charity too as well.
Oh, that's cool. Well, next time they have one, let me know. I'll go.
Well, they happen to have one right when we went to that damn tacos and tequila fest. Because if I didn't have tacos and tequila and Luda, I would have gone to the show for sure. How
was that anyway? I never. It
was really good. It was very good. So like so I went for David Banner, Chameleonaire, Ludacris, and Exhibit, and none of them disappointed except for David Banner. Like he was playing some jams from my back in the day, but then he stopped the set and he's like, he's like, he's talking. He's like, all right, where my Mexican folks at, or my Latin folks, or I don't remember what he said. And he goes, where are my black folks at? And he goes, I know y'all here. And they're like, ooh. And he goes, and he's like, don't worry, white people, I love y'all too. Where y'all at? This and that. He goes, but I love y'all, but y'all need to quit lying. And I'm like, I don't think I've ever spoken to you, but
we had words.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I didn't know I had a chance to lie to you, but he's like, he starts bringing up the Tuskegee experiments and shit.
Oh,
and like he's like, yeah, y'all out of this and that, and I'm like, okay, well, I never went around saying that it didn't happen, so I don't understand why you telling me not to lie, like. But okay, and then he's like this and that, and then he plays one of his songs that's got the N-bomb in the chorus, and he goes, now white people, I know it's a dope song, and I know y'all be getting into that stuff. He goes, but if I see you singing the chorus, he goes, best believe I'm gonna jump off this stage. And I'm just like,
wow,
why the fuck am I even here listening to you, man?
Yeah, like
you know what I'm saying? Like I jammed his shit back in the day. I still listen to some of his tracks, but fuck, man, like. Yeah, and that was the only thing that kind of disappointed me. Everything else was really fucking dope. Ludacris still put on a really good concert. He played a lot of old school shit. A lot of old school.
Man, that's awesome.
From his like first
couple. So how was the tacos and how was the tequila?
Tacos were good. I didn't go to I didn't get my free tacos because all the lines where the free tacos were like waiting for a fucking roller coaster at Six Flags.
Oh.
So I went and paid for my tacos, and for flavor wise, maybe I'm glad I did because they were fucking phenomenal. And then the free margaritas, they were actually had some alcohol in them.
Wow.
Like I was impressed. And then they had syringe Jello shots that weren't too bad.
Oh, that's cool.
They were kept in ice, but they were definitely, because of the heat and humidity, they were a little runny. It was a little on the liquid. The texture was not great on the palate, but.
Well, that sucks. But yeah, so the other thing that happened today, so every week I start out on the old stock market every Monday. I start out with $150. And I'm like, because, it's enough that if you lose it, it's not really that, painful. Mm-hmm. So I started out this week with $150. And as of today, it was like, I showed Andy earlier, it was like 900 and some change. So literally in a day I made like $800-900, so it's kind of crazy. But what I do is every Friday is I transfer the funds, and then that way I start the next week with $150 and then just go from there. So that way I'm building a kind of a nest egg, if you will. And I'm not,
but also kind of like a savings almost.
Yeah, it's like savings because I get interest on my trades and stuff.
Take note, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
add this to your portfolio.
Right,
financial advice. Didn't know that happened on FU, did you?
Yeah, we surprised.
Yeah, hey, I'm listening. I'm just looking for stuff.
Oh, you're good. Yeah, so so that was kind of an interesting day, and my options close on Friday. So if anybody's been paying attention or following Roaring Kitty, and everybody that ever watched, what is that movie?
What did you just?
It's called Roaring Kitty. So
I'm just gonna not take the opportunity. I'm gonna let it go.
Any of y'all heard of the meme stock craze? The whole GameStop, AMC. There was a couple other ones that basically it was Roaring Kitty was the one that started this whole thing because he realized a whole bunch of these investors are trying to short the stock, which means they're basically trying to bury the company.
Yep.
And so he came in and was like, you know what? Screw that. I'm going to get all of these Reddit people together and we're going to just bombard and buy and buy and buy. So what ended up happening, it ended up costing those shareholders, those big firms and stuff, like billions of dollars with a B.
Well, and we're talking GameStop, right?
Yeah. And so there's actually a movie on Netflix. Yeah. And so he's famous now because of that video. And because now everybody knows who he is. And so now he put in, I forget it was like 44 million or 40 million. He bought into GameStop.
See, so like, that's what I'm saying. Like people.
So that's how I made all that money in a day, is because of him and his influence on.
You got to watch out for those, and not a snake. Diamond in the rough. You got to watch out for those diamonds in the rough. I mean, people saw GameStop because you can buy stuff online now and this and that as a failing industry. Because who wants to go to the brick and mortar? Well, this dude found out a way to bring that brand back.
Yep.
And has brought it back in a big way. Like there's still, I get it. There's not as many locations as there once was, but there are a lot of brick and mortar locations.
Yep. And I think that's part of the reason why they're still around, because to your point, you have the Microsoft store for Xbox, and you have the Sony store for PlayStation. So it's like now, and then you have the PlayStation 5, which just does digital as well as you can buy the one that has the CD, the actual disc. So it's kind of like it's pushing more and more GameStop away. But yeah, this guy came in and was like, saw all these shorts on these certain stocks and was like, you know what, I'm going to try to save the company. And he has, and he did. And if y'all haven't checked out the movie, I forget the name of it. I'm sure Donna or somebody in the audience can look it up and tell me what the name is. But
Donna's always pretty quick.
Yeah, she is. She's like, hold on, I'm researching. Boom.
So, if I'm not mistaken, if you at the brick and mortar locations, depending on what the release is or whatnot, you can get in some instances better deals as if you actually go into person than you could find online in general, like Amazon or other outlets. I thought that's what one of his like draws to the store was. If I'm not like when a game is released, they are doing some kind of special that beats out other.
Well, I think they do like a pre-release at GameStop.
Okay.
And then they also do the points. So like if you buy games, you get certain points. So then you can use those points towards which you don't get on the Microsoft store or the PlayStation
So
store.
kind of like Kohl's Cash when you go to
Correct. The more you spend, the more money you get back, discounts, and that sort of stuff. So that's kind of their saving grace. But to me, they need to do something more.
Their saving grace is the expiration date on that Kohl's Cash because you forget to use it.
Yeah, exactly.
This never happened to me before.
Yeah, right. No, it's happened to me on a lot of different things that I have. I'm like, I go to use it, and I'm like, oh, this expired 2 years ago. I'm like, fuck. Or like my Fry's gift card. I'm like, I got a gift card, but the fucking company doesn't exist anymore.
No, that's very true. Very true. Man, so what else did you got going on? Is it
GameStop. She says GameStop Rise of the Players. Let me look. Let me see.
Could be.
Let's see. Oh, it's called Eat the Rich, the GameStop Saga.
Yep.
Or wait, or is it? Hold on.
It was on Netflix, wasn't it?
Or Dumb Money.
I don't know. That describes a lot of people.
Dumb Money, that's what it's called. Dumb Money. Now I got to check out this other one.
Donna said, "Am I your research assistant?" Where's Ashley at?
I know. Where the hell is Ashley? I know she was getting a haircut.
Not a lot of people online this evening.
Yeah, I noticed. Like, where is everybody? It's
So,
all of our usual peeps.
People out and about doing their thing, or maybe they're just calling it an evening. So, I see Lake Dallas still has yet to clean up their storm mess.
Well, I saw them come by with a trash truck. I think it was like a Tuesday or might have been a Wednesday, and they were picking up a lot of the stuff, but they didn't pick up everything.
So Republics has gone around and tagged all the wood piles saying that they're not up to code. You have to have them chopped up. Here's my response to that, though.
What's that? Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of people throughout Thousand Oaks and even the Lake Dallas area that are older, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, they don't have the time or the energy to get out there, or even some of them don't have the ability to cut all this debris down, right? And then other ones, I mean, some of them are on a fixed income at some point to where maybe they can't get a landscaper to come out and do that, or be able to pay their landscaper extra to do that.
Or more importantly, they don't even own a chainsaw.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so that, so they get this stuff cut up by somebody, get it put on the curb, and they're just kind of shit out of luck because whoever they hired didn't chop it up right, and now we can't go back and fix it. Like it needs to be taken care of. I hit the city page up about it, Chamber of Commerce, and I also put it in the Lake City's page. Nobody commented on it though.
I was actually gonna comment on the neighborhood thing and just be like, to the residents of Falcon Fuck Place Court over behind us, nobody likes you. Know your lane and stay the fuck in your circle.
Oh.
Don't come in our fucking neighborhood. Oh, they have pissed me off to no fucking like worse than like I ever like. I knew it was gonna be kind of bad because obviously I had the luxury of my house backing to 40 acres, and I knew like, and that's why I fought tooth and nail because I knew this was gonna fucking happen. So they promised that my backyard, so the audience knows, my backyard is like a pie or like a pizza shape, basically. So the front yard is pretty much non-existent, but the backyard is massive. Well, the thing is, they said that they were going to mirror my yard. So that means that the house behind me would have the same size lot, but obviously mirrored. So it'd go V-shape or pizza shape the other direction. Well, they didn't do that. They decided to put 2 fucking backyards into my backyard. So now I have 2 sets of dogs that I have to fucking contend with that are barking constantly, that like I can't even let my dogs out because then it like turns into this whole growling thing, blah, blah, blah. Well, one of my neighbors to the right, they've bitched and complained, and I told them, I was like, hey, look, like I've done everything I can on my side. I was like, you guys got to do something on your side. Like, I can't help your yard. Like, that's a you problem. And you're complaining to me, and it's now becoming a me problem. And that's where I have a problem.
So, but what is the complaint? Is it their dogs digging under yours, or your dog digging under theirs? Is it barking? Is it what?
No, it's my dog digging under their fence. So I put big, huge cinder blocks and all that sort of stuff. So I've done my part on my side. The problem is on their side, there's still a hole. And they got right now their solution is a bag of fucking potting soil. Okay. Like not dumping the potting soil into the hole.
Yeah, they
just drop the bag there, and I'm just going, these fucking idiots. And like she did say, because originally it was a girl that came and stopped. She's like, basically like didn't know what to put there and didn't know. I'm like, so you want me to solve your fucking problem? Like I can solve my like. You need to go you're gonna buy a house. You're gonna own a house. You're gonna own dogs. You need to know how to fucking secure them. You need to know how to fix shit on your side of the fence.
We've all owned our first home at one point.
Oh, dude, I know. I know. I mean, this is technically my first home, but I'm like, I'm not a fucking idiot either. But they're millennials.
Devin, you've lived here for 20 years, though. You've learned a thing or two.
Yes, I have.
When you first moved into this house, would you have been able to, right off the bat, been able to replace the ceiling in the kitchen just right off the bat immediately?
No.
You've acquired skills and knowledge from owning a home and being like, let me tell you something. Like, not all roses.
And that's why I'm saying they need to know their lane. They need to go stay on their fucking side. YouTube, Google, fucking use your resources. Don't come over here.
Well,
because we hate y'all.
But
literally we hate y'all.
But as far as the any more further from this side, it's basically blocked off.
Oh yeah, like
it's just then let them stew in their own. It is what it is at this point.
Well, in their eyes, it's not a permanent solution. I'm like, what would you like me to do? Build a wall on top of the fucking fence? Like,
but what?
Yeah,
there's bricks there. Like,
yeah, it's
is the dog still digging?
No,
is it still going? That's what I'm saying. Like.
The problem is solved.
Like,
I know. That's why I'm like, why are we still talking about this? Why are we still talking about spilled tea? Like, no, that's why I'm upset. That's why it's irritating and frustrating to me because I came home after being out on the lake for like 2 days and there's a fucking note shoved in my door saying, and I'm like, first of all, my dogs haven't even been out because I've been on the lake. They're not. I don't let them out when I'm not here. Like that would be dumb. And so I was like. It just came out of nowhere, and I was just like, "All right, fuck these people." And then they threatened to call the police and stuff like that. And I'm just like, and you know what I think it is after reading it again for the second, third time. I think it's because Sapphire's pit bull, and they have that stigma, because they're afraid
Just is what it is, man.
Because they've watched all the news articles and all the news stories.
Yeah, and
All in how you fucking raise them,
they come
folks.
come from people that don't take care of them. But
go back to California.
yeah, man.
So if anybody in the audience knows how to piss off fucking neighbors, let me know.
Yeah,
I'm all ears.
I mean, you could hide them. You could hide. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that on air.
What I was thinking though is I'm like, you know what?
Trying to lead into the story.
You know what? I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you know what? These people probably aren't going to be here very long because, you know, the way mortgage rates are and inflation and everything else. I'm like, if they can't even afford to fix the fucking hole, that tells me a lot about them. Like that they probably can't even afford their house. So when that time comes, guess who's going to buy that fucking house? And I'm going to demo that fucking wall or fence, and I'm going to make one big ass backyard. And then I have a guest house.
The likelihood,
and then I'll have the last laugh.
The likelihood of I bet you you're either going to have long-term neighbors and you're not going to be able to do anything about it, or somebody else is going to get in there before you have a chance to buy it. Dude, the shitty thing about it is we lost the land. There's a neighborhood there, and if it's not one neighbor, it'll be the next neighbor.
That's why I want to buy the house, so that way I don't have to worry about it.
But you have two backyards, though.
I know.
You know what I mean? So it just the problem might migrate over, you know?
Then I'll buy that property too.
But,
fuck, I'll just own the whole neighborhood.
That's what I'm saying. Like at this point, dude, like what really sucks is the guy's like, you know what? They made me an offer I couldn't refuse. I sell, and that we're stuck with the consequences. And it's either we can go to war with them, fine, but understand it's going to make this side of the neighborhood just as unpeaceful.
This side of the neighborhood's already pissed off. Trust me, I've talked to quite a few neighbors that are kind of pissed off at these fucking new dipshits. So ironically, a certain neighbor posted something about how she's pissed off that because apparently I don't know if you saw that fire truck that was been parked out in front of the house a couple times.
Yeah,
they've called so that other yard that splits with me and also splits with the other neighbor on our side calls the cops of the fire department every time they have their little bonfire. And mind you, their bonfire is like a fraction of the size of my gigantic fire pit.
I saw them. I thought they were coming to your house the other day.
I thought so too, and they were parked in front of my truck, and I'm like going, dude, I can't get out of here.
So that's fucked up.
Yeah, so like apparently, and then here's the other fucked up part. And this has actually got me thinking. I'm like going, City of Lake Dallas could actually have a huge lawsuit because think about this. If there's an emergency here, somebody has a heart attack, they can't go straight down Shady Shores. They now have to go all the way around. And so what would have taken 2 to 5 minutes now takes 15 to 20 minutes. That's like life or death.
Twofold, okay? So number one, this is for Lake Dallas not elevating the roads, right?
Yes.
Not elevating Shady Shores.
Now, mind you, they've been telling me for 15 of the 20 years that I've been here that they're working on it.
So this is twofold. That's the city's responsibility.
Yep.
Here's where the responsibility ends. Unfortunately, is they're not draining Lake Louisville because of because of areas south of us will flood immediately, and so therefore everything that we see is not backwashing into the lake. It's sitting there because they are not draining the lake.
And that's the other thing too, because it's creating huge mosquito problems because the water is not moving.
And we don't mean like huge. There's a lot of them, but we mean huge,
huge
fucking
in size and in number.
Nickel quarter size fucking mosquitoes on steroids. These are Texas grown mosquitoes, ladies and gentlemen, looking like that stuff that Bill Gates was making.
Hold on. Lindsay's got a good point. Lindsay just said, hey, so there's been a bunch of military planes flying over practice runs for the 4th of July. The boys asked if we're going to war. Yes, actually, North Korea just invaded South Korea. So, yes, we probably...
Did that happen?
I think that happened. I got a news thing about it. I haven't had a chance to... It literally happened on my drive in, and I was like going, what the fuck?
Well, she's talking about the old warplanes.
Oh,
like the old...
They're probably
flying in. They're probably flying in for the... Are practicing. Per Lake Dallas, they and Shady Shores have done their part. Now the state is delaying it.
Oh, really?
That's per Lake Dallas. Okay. Well,
wonder why the state is getting in.
They're delaying. Number one, they're delaying the lake being drained because this property south of us can't handle it. Number two, the problem with Shady Shores is much older than just what happened this summer. That road should have been elevated and fixed a long time ago.
Yeah, this is about the 6th or 7th time that it's been underwater. Now, this is the worst because before
it would drain.
But now, because of everything up north of us is also flooded, but also everything all the way down to Houston is flooded.
Yep.
And so literally the water has nowhere to go, and they can't open the dams or anything because of there's nowhere else for that water to go.
I saw people posting in the Louisville page today saying like this little bit of rain, and he goes, I already have standing water in my streets. He goes, this little bit of rain, and we've already got water standing here. Wow. I was like, holy shit, because it didn't barely rain at work. It rained in a northern Louisville, and I think parts of Flower Mound, a little bit out here. But yeah, they said it was already starting to standing water. It's not like flooding waters like it was.
Yeah.
Standing water in the streets already just from that little rain.
Well, if you want to get your mind blown, you should come out to where my slip is, because the only patch of gravel and parking lot is where the Lakeview Marina store is. That's the only spot. There's the entire.
Oh,
yeah.
We drove down there.
Oh, did you?
We drove down there to check it out, and like you got that small parking spot. We didn't recognize it because how wide that parking lot usually is.
Yeah,
right?
It's so huge. Yeah.
We normally would park in the water.
Yeah.
And she's like, this ain't Devin's Slip. And I was like, no, there's the fireboat right there. That old ass fireboat. This park next.
Yep.
And I was like, this is Devin's Slip. And she's like, no, it isn't. And I'm driving. I'm like, oh shit, there's water. Like, yeah, it's crazy down there, dude. Like,
so I went Hunley and I turned left, and then I realized I couldn't turn left because the water goes all the way up Hunley. I was like, holy shit, I can't even get.
Like,
so I had to turn around and go back.
Normally, your boat dock, you have to actually, it's an incline.
Yeah.
Now it's almost decline. Now it's almost an incline.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, man.
Well, the craziest part is I can't even get to my trailer. Says I was gonna pull my trailer out, and then I was gonna pull the boat out, and I was gonna get the oil changed and just do the maintenance stuff on it. But yeah, I can't even get to my fucking trailer.
Nuts, man.
That whole road all the way to where the trailers are, and mind you, there's airplane hangars over there too. It's all underwater, so I don't know if my trailer's sitting underwater right now.
Last time I saw it this bad.
Yeah.
I was working at the center out in West Frisco. It was that over off of Old Newman and 423. And as you would go down 423 coming out of the colony, you go down and you come back up as you're getting into Frisco, and the lake was on both sides was flooded so bad. There's a storage unit that actually went down into it, and it was up to the roof, and there was boats, and probably half the storage units were underwater.
Oh my god.
That was like 2016, I think. Maybe 14, something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had another really, really bad one. Not as long, obviously, as this one. This one, I'm gauging it's probably going to take 2 to 3 months. Like that's how much of an effect this is going to have on us, just because of evaporation rate and everything else. But we keep getting more rain.
Yeah, right. No shit. Speaking of war, number one, you got South Korea. Wait, no, North Korea went after South Korea, right?
Yeah, and then I sent you something today. What did I send you?
Yes, that's what I was talking about. So those of you who don't know, a Russian naval fleet has been basically tracking to heading towards Cuba. And this is a fleet with that actually has nuclear capability. And
you talking about the submarine?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a fleet; it's a Russian Navy.
No, that's what I'm saying. They have tracked a fleet down there, and the submarine was with the fleet, and the submarine has disappeared. I was reading up on it this morning because you got me. I was like, "Ooh, I'm going to dig into this. I want to see this."
Yeah, I heard there's some shit going on in Cuba right now too.
So, Cuba, as you know, if I'm correct, they're communist, correct? Right?
They were under Fidel Castro.
So Cuba has not had true, I forget, I read it about the Russian ties or whatnot for a very, very long time, or had any kind of Russian control down there. So why they're headed down there is not clear, but there was a submarine with them, a nuclear submarine that has disappeared. The last ping that it had before it kind of really disappeared was 66, only 66 miles. And if you want to think about that in like ocean, like only 66 miles off the coast of Florida. And that's off the east coast of Florida, excuse me. That's pretty close to U.S. land. You know, you could take, I guarantee you there are probably yachts that go out that far occasionally, as long as the waters aren't rough.
So just to give you kind of a point of reference, anytime you go deep sea fishing, you typically go 60 miles out.
So yeah,
so that's literally where the fishing boat.
Somebody right now could be out there fishing, and there could be a Russian nuclear submarine passing under them right now, and they would have no fucking clue.
Yep.
Now, supposedly, we have every sub hunter flying around looking for it or whatever. Again, this could be something to distract us from something else, but at the same time, this is the latest news story on that right now. So, kind of scary a little bit. I don't think this means we're all going to go to war all of a sudden. But the world is a powder keg right now. We're over in Taiwan talking about, hey, we'll protect you and shit, and China's talking about invading them, and it's all crazy right now.
Yeah, like we're living in some crazy ass fucking times.
But nationally, violent crime is down, and the U.S. murder rate is plunging, according to the FBI.
Yeah, I saw that.
You know who's going to take credit for that, right?
Trump.
No, Biden's totally going to be like, crime's down. Come on, man, crime's down where it's ever been.
It's the best it's ever been.
Violent crime has dropped by more than 15% in the United States during the first 3 months of 2024. Now, mind you, this is CNN reporting on this, so you have to take it with a grain of salt, just like anything from Fox 2 as well. They're both wings of the bad shit bird. The new numbers show violent crime from January to March dropped 15.2% compared to the same period in 2023, while murders fell 26.4% and reported rapes decreased by 25.7%. So good on people for actually being good people and not raping your neighbors. Thank you for that. Jesus. Like I would hope that would go down to 0%, but whatever. Aggravated assaults decreased during that period when compared to last year by 12.5%, according to the data, while robberies fell 17.8%. These are gathered from over 13,000 of just the over 19,000 law enforcement agencies from across the country. So, yep, that's awesome. The murder rate plunged. U.S. murder rate continues to drop at a high rate, even though we still have access to guns. Oh no! But the murder rate seems to go down all of a sudden.
It's funny, Kayla says, because no one can afford to buy bullets, all money's going to groceries. I was literally thinking that today when I read that story. I was like, yeah, because nobody can afford it.
Nobody in the hood's buying bullets. They're getting it from someone. Not like they're walking into their local academy and picking up a pack of fucking... And then again, they may. I don't know.
I was like, yeah.
I don't know. They might. I still don't think you should do background checks.
It's like bullets or bread. Bread.
Really, it's eggs.
Eggs.
Yeah. Or a COVID test. Anyways, compared to the first 5 months of 2023, murder this year has dropped more than 40% in cities, including New Orleans. Hey, babe, we can go back. We won't see any more murders this time. Seattle, Boston, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. And I went to...
Wait, they cleaned up the... I was going to say...
I've gone to three of those cities in the last year. The last 12 months.
Were you strapped?
New Orleans? Oh, no, sorry. In the last year and a half. Because I went to Seattle for work. I went to Baltimore for... Oh, no, I didn't go to Baltimore. That's the wrong side of the country. Shit. Okay, nope. I only went to New Orleans and Seattle. Take it all back.
Wait, you went to Portland too, right? Didn't you?
Yeah, that's Oregon. Yeah. So, but this says Baltimore.
Oh, it didn't say Portland? I thought...
Baltimore, Maryland. I didn't go to... That's the one I missed. And then Philadelphia, and I didn't go to... don't really want to go there.
Yeah.
According to research from Datalytics, which analyzes crime figures reported by law enforcement agencies across the nation. So yay for not unaliving people. Good job, y'all. Way to be good people.
So that's all it took is just fucking inflation.
No, yeah, so, right.
Inflation's a motherfucker.
And I guarantee you Biden will take credit for this. He'll be like, since I've been in, come on, man, since I was president, all these violent crimes fell, man. So, you know, whatever works, you fix, right? And things are good. And I remember
I built back better.
Yeah, when I was 18 or when I was 72 in 1982. Wait.
My math is not mathing.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's awesome. Again, this is CNN, so take it for what it is. And the FBI, which is very controlled these days. These could be manipulated statistics, but overall, hopefully, we're doing better as a country.
Yep.
Check that story off. Boop. Oh, we don't have the little AI next to it saying what questions.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think about that, audience? Are you glad that we are not raping people and murdering people as much as we were in 2023? Can I get a thumbs up for that? Yay. Shit. I hope people agree with that.
So what was it, Sunday?
Ashley got a haircut. Oh, I feel like that did that help with the crime rate?
I think that probably
No, I'm
did.
just saying, good job for getting a haircut. Just messing with you. She's like, yeah, it kept me from murdering people because it's so hot in the summer.
It is. So speaking of the heat, there's a slight chance that Texas could be facing rolling blackouts this summer.
Speaking of,
in which we just had one.
I don't even know. I don't know. I got no reason. Was there anywhere reported? Did you see anywhere why we had that blackout?
Nope. Actually, Donna, if you know, maybe you can enlighten us of why we had that blackout on Sunday. Was it Sunday?
Yeah, it's
Saturday or Sunday.
You were gone all day.
Yeah, I think it was Saturday.
Saturday or Sunday. It was Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Because you came home and you were like 3 sheets to the wind.
Bro,
you had a day.
I had a fucking day out on the list.
But no, you when you came home, yeah, it went out at like 2:00 in the afternoon or something, 2 or 3.
Yeah, I had my phone hooked up to the speakers, right? So like it kept notifications kept coming in from Encore, and then they started calling to let me know about the no power, and I'm like going, well, I'm at the fucking lake. I ain't got to deal with it.
Here's the shitty thing about it. It only affected this area, the area that looked like that's locked by water, because it was 200. Most blackouts, it's thousands of people usually when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
This blackout literally was 248 people, I think it said. 248 residences, which literally is probably these 3 neighborhoods.
Right.
It's 3 of them, right?
Yeah, Donna said
they
said they had to cut some trees out of the line behind Texas Oaks. Not sure though.
It very well could have been. So
just
wind blown, something hadn't fallen yet. You saw that tree over by the.
Dude, that tree is massive.
That's an ancient tree, and it came right out of the ground.
Dude, and you look at where it came out of the ground, you're like going,
those roots were rotted.
Yeah, I was like going, dude, that like literally had no roots.
Yeah,
I'm surprised it didn't fall sooner.
I've never seen a tree fall that old that doesn't tear up like a big part of the ground. It just came straight out of the ground. Like that was crazy.
Yeah, it's almost like something lifted it up and set it down.
But yeah, no, that was the first thought out of my mind was rolling blackouts.
Yeah.
Go ahead with the story.
So on Monday, ERCOT and the Public Utility Commission testified before the Committee on State Affairs in Austin. At the hearing, ERCOT stated that due to the growing demand of electricity, there is a 12% chance that Texans will face rolling blackouts this summer. ERCOT added that if rolling blackouts are initiated, they will take place in August and at night when there is low wind power production. To avoid possibility of future blackouts, the Public Utility Commission proposed constructing more nuclear power plants to improve the reliability of the state's power grid. Currently, Texas only has 2 nuclear power plants, one which is located southwest of the Metroplex in Glen Rose.
Is that Glen? Oh, yes, that is Glen. It's right near Lake Granbury.
Yep.
Or on Lake Granbury. I've actually not flown over it, but I've flown by it.
So I don't know if you remember back in the day when I dated Jenny, the redhead.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad worked for the power plant. He was a nuclear engineer, nuclear physicist, or something like that. He's super, super smart.
So the only claim I have to that nuclear power plant is Uncle Dave and Aunt Sue have a when you move into Pecan Plantation or anywhere near there, you have an evacuation route and a plan for a nuclear fallout.
Oh my God.
When you move there.
Yeah.
It's like, if that's not nerve-wracking, and they say
right.
the people that live on the side of the lake, like in the general area of that, they say, oh, you mean the people that glow.
The people that
but yeah, no. Where's the other one? Does it say?
It didn't say where the other one is.
So the 3 largest growing areas. Well, actually, I guess San Antonio could be added to that map now, dude. Is San Antonio, Houston, Austin, Dallas, with Dallas being the number 1 in growth. And the sheer amount of people moving here has put stress on the Texas power grid, because originally when we were just Texas, we could handle it because we had our own power grid. Now we're Texas, California, New York, Oklahoma.
Yeah, we're the big melting pot.
Yeah, Dallas is what the second largest growing market in the world, or at least it had that title last year. I don't know if it still does. I don't know the statistics on it, but yes, it is one of the second largest markets growing in the world as far as people moving to and business growth.
Yep.
2 of the main contributors to the bit about 4 years, I can't remember what it was Liberty Mutual moved here and Toyota moved here and brought shit tons of jobs.
So let me ask you a question. Do you know what ESG is? It's an acronym.
Electronic seismograph.
No.
Okay.
Stands for environmental, social, and governance.
Okay.
So what it is, it's a set of metrics and practices that companies use to evaluate their sustainability efforts and societal impact beyond the financial performance. So think of like what you're talking about, power grid, right? So the biggest challenge and problem is these data centers. I don't know if you know, but there's a shit ton of data centers around Dallas-Fort Worth area. They are one of the largest consumers of power. Another one is those data miners. There's one in Denton, and there's a couple, I can't remember where else. Think of like crypto mining, that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So those are very, very power hungry. So ESG is basically what it is. Your goal is to offset. So like if you take 100 million kilowatt hours, then you got to somehow supply 100 million kilowatt hours.
Mm-hmm. Understood.
So in all honesty, like I think this should be passed across the board. Like it's the old saying, and leave things better than you found it kind of thing. Like if you're gonna take shit from the environment, then you should.
Aren't really good at that. But anyways, go on.
So that's kind of like the ESG. It was a big buzzword about a year ago. A lot of big companies like Walmart and stuff like that, they did a lot of initiatives like with solar and stuff like that to try to offset their energy costs, and they're reliant on the grid and that sort of stuff. What are you thinking?
Well, what about the charging stations for the EVs out there?
And that was going to be the third thing I was going to say. Because those charging stations, yes, those are also very, very bad for our structure.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but if I read correctly somewhere within the last couple months, one of those charging stations, especially if they are a fast charging station, takes up the same amount of power to power 80,000 fucking homes.
Mm-hmm.
That is asinine. That is absolutely asinine. I'm sorry. I don't care how much the future is in EVs or whatever it is. That is asinine.
Well, and that's going back to why I brought up the ESG, because that there should be some kind of a push that if you're going to take X amount of money or energy from the grid, then you need to supply Y amount. So I was actually, when I was in North Carolina, I was talking to my uncle who works for a company which I will not name, but
understood.
And I asked him about like ESG, like what are they doing for that? And he basically told me and showed me like they have solar, and then the way they power and cool and heat their offices and stuff, they use water. And so like basically think like of a pipe that gets really hot whenever you need heat, and then it gets really cold if you need AC.
Yeah.
And ironically, I told him, I was like, when he was describing that, I go, yeah, JCPenney actually was one of the first in the nation, in the world, I think, to have that same system.
Too bad they're not.
I know, right?
Too bad they weren't as smart with their sales,
Oh,
with their
dude.
marketing.
God, poor company.
Does it say, and it may not even be in the article, but does it say, like, what is this? 3 years now we've been dealing.
Yeah.
Since
I mean, like you said, I've lived here for
summer
20
and
years.
winter, summer and winter. Like this has been 3 years now, summer and winter, where they've talked about rolling blackouts. We didn't get them bad last summer. Some areas did, but they weren't bad. But the thing is like they've had 3 years to work with like either other agencies, other people to efficiently boost the efficiency of the Texas power grid. Like, why are we still like, what I mean? Okay, so you prepared. Where did they testify in front of? Where? I'm sorry.
It was in Austin.
So you're prepared to go testify in front of Austin, but you're not prepared to say, hey, we've done A, B, and C since this has all started to try and combat this problem or this opportunity. I mean, if you really want to sell it in a positive light. But as a power company, the kind of population growth you're having to deal with at this point, you should be starting on a contingency plan. If you didn't have one, shame on you. It is what it is. We're here where we're at, but why haven't we talked about what we are doing to help fix this rather than, just letting you know it's going to happen?
Yeah, no, that's my whole thing of why I posted the other day about, I actually have a solution for fixing the fucking power grid.
I was reading into that, but that's what I mean. Like,
yeah,
so
that's what I hate
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Why aren't, you know what I mean? Like,
and that's my point, and that's what I hate about these companies and stuff, because they look at like, oh, well, how much is that going to cost? And then how much money can we make? Because remember, it's business, right? So they got to get at least 2 to 3x of whatever that costs.
I know.
That's it's a fundamental thinking problem of business. Would you rather service your customers or penny pinch?
Keep us in the black.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It boils down to
that drives business, right?
Yeah,
I get it, but like, you understand that if you keep going down that road, you are going to put yourself in an actionable position at some point. That's why the CEO stepped down from fucking ERCOT. That's why the CEO stepped down. He was about to fucking get blasted, dude. Like, and since then, like, nobody's done anything. Like, so let's say, Devin, you were tackling this problem, right? You know what? You're like, oh shit, I'm stuck. We didn't plan, but I got a plan. And you threw up, you went up and testified at Congress. Like, look, right now, there may be some rolling blackouts we're going to have to deal with. Here's what we have been working on. Like, and then you put your, say,
yeah,
from what I'm understanding, from what
they didn't offer any.
They
solution.
didn't offer a solution.
Their solution was to do it at night.
Hey, guess what? Oh, in the middle of the night when I'm sweating my nuts.
Yeah, when nobody can sleep because it's fucking 100 degrees in their house.
I mean, like, I just, you know what I mean? Like,
and this is the problem. This is why I
can't
started.
Go to people and say, hey, this is the problem. Deal with it. You got to go with two. Like, it's just like when you go to your boss with an opportunity, they want to hear 2 solutions before.
Yep.
Did you at least think about these 2 solutions?
Yep.
And if I don't like them, I'll give you my suggestion, right? But they're not even doing that. They're like, fuck y'all.
That's why I just stepped up, because I was like, you know what? I'm sick and tired of this problem that's been going on. Like you said, 3 years now without a single fucking solution. And I'm like, it's so obvious, because perfect example. This is why it came to mind, and you're actually part of the reason why, because of your electric bill, and then you were looking at my electric bill. And
my electric bill is my fault.
Well, I get that,
and that ended up being the gas bill, anyways.
Yeah,
that was me.
But even with all the technology and all the bullshit that I have in my house, like, my electric bill is really, it's so low. Like,
I have to admit that
for as much shit.
Yeah, because that's what made me understand just how much of a problem I had with my AC in my old my rent my rent home, because that's when your pool was up and running at efficiency level.
Yep. On
top of AC that stays on no higher than 70, maybe 71 when he's not here. Otherwise, it's like 68 all the fucking time. He's got electronics out the freaking wazoo, lights, cameras, action. No, but like computers downstairs, a huge ass TV, stereo. You know what I'm saying? And his electric bill was like a third of mine.
Yeah, like no bullshit.
And I was like, what the actual fuck? He showed me his kilowatt hours usage, and it was actually more than mine. Like, yeah. Anyways.
But no, I mean, and that's what's crazy. And, you know, and I've done a lot of stuff with automation. I've done a lot of stuff with geofence. No, not cedar fence. Geofence.
Tell me you use at least galvanized steel poles and not wood posts.
Yes, galvanized all day, every day.
And you don't do the expandable foam and the whole. You cement, right?
What are we talking about?
Fencing.
No, I use chainmail.
Oh,
see, different,
do you wear a
different
mask?
type of.
Do you wear a mask when you're fencing? Like,
yes.
Like, okay.
Yeah, you don't want to get an eye poked out.
Okay. All right.
People are so confused right
They
now.
are so lost. So lost. Anyways, don't mind me, folks.
So yeah, so I have all this stuff, and then of course everything that I have that I bought is energy efficient, including the pool pump, and the washer and dryer. You can actually, the cool thing about my dryer is you can actually spin it by hand, and it'll charge itself. Like the lights and shit will turn on. It's crazy.
I've been doing this shit all day. I throw the dog in there. Or something. Maybe the cat.
Actually, I came home one day. We were having storms, and Willow was in the fucking washing machine.
Thank God it's a front load, folks. Don't worry.
Front loader.
Don't worry. She didn't jump in.
But then her poor thing, she tried to get out and realized every time she moved, it would rotate.
Oh, that's shit. I shouldn't have scrolled down.
Why? What happened?
Your breakthroughs. I read something on this a while back too. And
oh, did you?
Yeah, it's really scary.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
I pulled it because I was like, well, you know, it's the show.
Yeah. I mean, go organic. You can go anything, and that stuff's happening now. It sucks. It really sucks.
It was like, and here, yet again, here's another. What are we doing about the microplastic situation? Once again, we get presented with all these problems, but nobody.
So,
and this is why I hate politics, because they talk about all this shit, but they never tell you their plan, like their actual legit, like
yeah. Well, the microplastics. So here's the shitty thing about the microplastics, right?
And just so y'all know, like I'm going to give you all kind of the headline of the story. Microplastics found in every single human semen sample tested in a study.
Yep.
Every single.
And it's a pretty large study. And they're saying, I don't remember what year, but it's not too far off from our children's future that it literally is going to be in almost every human being. And the thing is microplastics are being found in the bottom of the Mariana Trench, and we haven't even been there yet. This goes back to what you were saying with the customers and the penny pinching, etc. Yep. So literally there was one of these deals published, and I don't remember which water bottle, but it's one of the major brands that we drink, and also store brands. And literally the difference in cost between a plastic that would break down and while in the store into your water, okay, between a plastic that would break down versus a plastic that would break down over a longer period of time, I think per bottle it was like 2 cents. 2 fucking cents. And they said they decided to save those 2 cents and go with the cheaper plastic. Now, don't get me wrong, you're still going to, bottled water, you're still going to find microplastics in some of your water, but the shelf life, literally over 2 cents. And yes, even I drink some of these store brand waters. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? They're easier on the pocketbook. But it sucks, man. And who knows? Maybe it's why everybody's getting cancer these days. I don't know. I don't know. Dude, I've lost and had friends, more friends that have had cancer, and more colleagues that have had their close ones. I mean, in the last 3 years, it's been absolutely crazy the amount of cancer stories I've been hearing close to home.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate thing. They said microplastics have also been discovered in other human tissues, including blood, placenta, and breast milk.
Yep.
So that means you're literally feeding your kids that. It's fucking crazy. The full extent of the health impacts is still unknown, but there's growing evidence that microplastics can cause cellular damage and disrupt hormone function. Researchers emphasize the urgent need for further studies to understand the implications of microplastic contamination on human health and reproduction.
Yeah, it sucks, unfortunately, man. It's such a horrible statistic. I with these kind of things, ladies, if you're planning to get pregnant or are pregnant, I'd say stop drinking plastic bottled water. Get yourself a refillable glass bottle or metal bottle and start refilling it. That's just my take on that.
Yeah, like me, I don't even cook like anything. Like only time it touches plastic is when it's being stored. That's it.
Yep.
Otherwise, like most of my stuff is in silicone, because silicone you can actually put in the microwave, you can put in the oven, you can put it literally, you can set it on a fucking cooktop if you want.
Yep.
And so that's why I switched many years ago to glass, and glass was great, but the problem with glass is it takes up your whole fucking drawer.
Yeah.
And so then I found these silicone that collapse. So they collapse and then so I started buying a bunch of those.
Make a lot of dog water bowls out of them.
Yep.
Travel bowls or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, and I mean, they work freaking great. But yeah, like I try to minimize as much plastic use. I do have plastic water bottles for the lake, but that's just because it's, the lake but most of the time I'm drinking out of my Yeti that's, or actually not even a Yeti. It's a 64 ounce, half a gallon cup. And then I just refill and stuff like that. And I don't ever, I try to stay as far away from plastic shit as possible.
Kayla said they used cheap materials for a chemo port that my mom had, and pieces broke off after the company was supposed to change their materials. The company failed to do so and kept manufacturing. Many lawsuits are in place for thousands of people.
That's so
the horrible thing. So
thanks for sharing that, by the way,
yes,
Kayla.
absolutely.
I had no idea about that.
The crappy thing about when something like that happens is, you definitely need to hold lawsuits need to happen like that, obviously, to hold the company accountable. I agree. But the other thing that you don't take into consideration or don't always think about is get those families what they deserve. The thing is they're getting what they deserve, or they're doing their best to, but during that lawsuit, however long it takes, and yeah, you may get the payout, and maybe to you it may be worth it, but it keeps the wound open for so much longer. It really does. Like with my dad, I could have researched his blood pressure medications. I'm sure I could have found something, but then I would have just been mad at the world because it could have been prevented.
And that's the thing. If you don't do something, though, to Kayla's point, then they go on. You know what I mean? And they go on manufacturing, and then there's even more deaths and stuff like that. So.
But it's a twofold when you go after the company. It's you need to hold them accountable, but unfortunately,
at the end of the day, it's not going to bring that person back.
No, it keeps the wound open. It really does.
To me, it's like I just saved other people from having the same wound. So to me, I look at it differently, as in hey, I may not have solved this issue that I personally have, but I might have saved other people down the road.
It's the greater good is the better part of it. It absolutely is. It's just, when you go down that road, if you do go down that road, just be prepared. Because some of those cases take years to unfold.
Well, and yeah, you're absolutely right. And that's the thing. And there's been a lot of people that I wanted to go after for a lot of things, and it sucked because it was just me. And it's I always feel like I'm battling, it's David battling Goliath all the time. And I've taken some big companies down, but it's just you get to a certain point, it's you're just tired of fighting all the time. Yep. You're tired of dealing with all these fucking idiots and all these stupid companies that do dumb shit. And literally, what I've decided to do is go work for those companies, because that's the only way you're going to fucking make change.
From the inside. And the thing is it takes time and energy to do all that. Time you could be putting into life in general. You know what I mean? Being happy. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That
to me is on the boat.
Yeah.
My happy place.
Fair enough right there, man.
But yeah, dude, I did the dumbest shit on fucking Saturday. I went to throw the anchor out, not realizing it wasn't tied off, and there goes my whole fucking anchor. It's the one with the buoy too. So somewhere is a rope with a fucking buoy attached in my box anchor. I was like, motherfucker. I was
But
like, well,
could you swim over to the buoy or the buoy go
no, the
under?
buoy was completely submerged. But the thing is, it's still floating. So if somebody hits it with a prop, yeah, it's gonna fuck their prop up.
That's no bueno enchilada.
But so this weekend, I'm gonna go out there with my magnet, my 2,000 fucking pound magnet, and fucking pull that sucker.
You're gonna be trying to pry it off the.
I'm like,
damn it! I guess that's my new anchor. Part of my anchor now.
Yep.
Speaking of the lake, there's a few people that drowned.
Yeah.
I think we have a story on one of them, don't we?
Yeah. So, Addison Man drowns in Lake Louisville.
This is what, the third person in 2 or 3 weeks since Memorial Day?
Yeah, it's been a couple. The guy was 27 years old. So the one that I heard of before this one, I think was like 22 or 21. But yeah, most of these that have been dying are in their 20s. And in fact, I just saw another article that I didn't get to put on the story, where the park rangers and shit, they're saying like, even if you're an adult, to wear a life jacket, because what's happening is, and people don't realize this, there's a huge undercurrent.
Mm-hmm.
So what's happening is, even though they're only about 15, 20 yards out, that undercurrent comes and basically sweeps your feet out, and then you're trying to and a lot of people try to swim out of it, and you're not supposed to. You're just supposed to go with it, and then eventually zigzag basically back to the shore, and that's how you kind of fight those currents and stuff like that. But from what I've read, like that's why there's so many of them, and that's why it keeps happening, because of the water levels and shit like that.
Yeah, the water levels are a lot higher, and people are like thinking, so what, the lake's higher, what's that got to do with anything? And they don't realize the dangers that come with it. I also, when you jump in water where you can't see,
yeah,
you know what I mean? My question is he jumped off the boat? Like, dude, I've never gone more than like I can still literally, anytime I've jumped into the water, I've dove a couple times, but I've never gone more than a foot underwater. You know what I mean? Like, I've always stayed near the surface. I don't know how he went deep enough to not resurface. Like, I don't know, but they said they found the body 25 feet from the shoreline. Like, that's how close he was to the shore. And somehow, was it floating though? Did it get washed up there? Because if he didn't resurface, that means he had, what I'm saying, like, he was underwater. Yeah, like, and his body had to float up. No, only floats after the third day. Ask Kayla, she'll tell you. So that's the running joke, that every time we hear a drowning and stuff, and they don't find it the first 2 days, 3 days ago. Yeah, they'll go by. Yeah, 3 days. By the third day, they're starting to float. So this was the same day. Yeah, they discovered him the same day. Was it diving crews that found him? Said rescue crews. Yeah, it was the rescue diving crew. There was a bunch of people on the lake pages that I belong to that were posting videos and pictures and stuff of the dive crew, like basically trying to find this person. And Westlake Park is Party Cove, right? Yes. That is currently right now, if you drive through Westlake Park, it is most of the rooftops of the picnic tables are underwater. Yeah. The boat ramp, you can't even see. Yeah, I saw a picture of Sneaky Pete's. This is the second time. Oh shit, I didn't even think about going to Sneaky Pete's. This is the second time I've seen the gazebo underwater. Oh, is the gazebo underwater? Yeah, it was that last time too, remember? Oh yeah, it destroyed it. It's gonna destroy it again. Oh my god, it's bad, bro. It's real bad. And it was funny because we were talking about going to Sneaky Pete's, and didn't even dawn on me until you just said that like, would I park? What do I tether to the fucking gazebo top and swim to shore? Like, ladies and gentlemen, Louisville Lake has been notorious for drownings for several years. I think there was 1 or 2 years, maybe out of the 90s, early 2000s, that it led the deadliest lake in Texas. I don't think it. Oh, it was for a while. It was the deadliest in the nation. I think they lost that title a little while back. But even a 19-year-old kid drowned over Memorial Day weekend, which it says in late May, but that's Memorial Day weekend. Yeah. But yeah, this lake is notorious for taking people under. I do know when it happens in Party Cove, sometimes it's because they try to come up, they dive in drinking and they come up under the boat, and that's why they can't resurface. And they don't know where they're at. I mean, there's zero visibility in that fucking water. Like how the dive crews get down there and like are able to see anything is beyond me. Like it's that water is not, it's green as fuck. So to be able to find that body, kudos to them. I know it's what they do for a living, but I'm sure they take underwater lights, but how far does that light really reach in that green ass water?
Right.
And anyways, but yeah, if you go out on Lake Louisville, especially right now as high it is, please be careful. You're being encouraged to wear a life jacket. I would have several on your boat as you're required to. And just if you're gonna stay near shore. If you're not gonna have a life jacket, stay near shore.
Yeah, and that's the challenge, because like I love to beach the boat and then get on shore and just like actually be basically where I can stand up. But there's literally no beach anywhere.
Yeah.
Even like the place where I usually park, it's like literally the boat.
Yep.
It's like even with a mountain.
That's honestly, that was the coolest thing about Ray Roberts.
Yep.
Is that because that whole cove you could literally stand in for a long area. Yep. Like there was a long area you could stand in where it was just before it dropped off, boats could pull up and you still have back of boats to back of boats, and you have a walkway in between.
Yep.
Even Party Cove at Louisville, you don't have that.
I know, and that's one of the things that I wish that like somebody would just build some kind of like a sand. Well, I guess they kind of did over there in Little Elm, that park over there.
Yeah, that's I have seen that, but still, man, you can't beat that cove.
That cove is that's unfortunately, it's one of the best ones around. And it sucks because my boat's not out there.
The water's cold and it's never dirty. I mean, it's dirty, but not like dirty.
Yeah, that lake is a lot cleaner for some reason.
Yep. I would like to go to a clear lake, like an actual clear sea to the bottom lake.
Possum Kingdom.
That'd be really awesome. Well, Possum Kingdom, yes, but as you get deeper, you can't. Near the shore, you can.
Well, yeah, because that lake, like, there's some parts of it that are
insanely deep.
Yeah,
I know. There's probably like a Loch Ness monster out there. I know their gars get pretty big out there. They get like 13 feet in some areas. The alligator gars.
Oh yeah.
Wow. So speaking of well, no, I can't even transition into this very well. You hear about Hunter?
Oh yeah, convicted on all 3 counts.
Convicted, guilty in federal gun case, faces 25 years in prison.
Wait, how come he got a verdict in Trump? We still don't know what his sentencing is.
Well, there's going to be a sentencing eventually, but you got to understand, Trump's got a lot more money than Hunter Biden.
Yeah, that's true.
So, if you evade taxes all year, you know what I'm saying? Like, not that Hunter's ever paid taxes in his life. But he learned his fate in a federal gun case. He's facing up to 25 years. They haven't officially handed out the sentencing yet. And a jury of his peers was convinced he committed the crime. President Biden's son was just found guilty on all 3 felony counts of lying on a federal firearms application. In other words, his background check. The lies were about his drug use. So I guess he must have been convicted by then or in a rehab facility. One or the other, right? The jury deliberated for only 3 hours. That's a pretty quick deliberation. I know there's been quicker ones in the history of court, but that's pretty fast for a political person. Hunter was accused of not filling out the form was accused of filling out a form to purchase a revolver back in October 2018, certifying he was not a user or addicted to any controlled substance. But then he subsequently went and recorded himself smoking crack. Or was that before? I don't remember. He had pled not guilty, and his trial had plenty of juicy testimony.
Bet.
And then I
think they pulled like ex-girlfriends and shit.
Like, man, and that drug usage, man. I'm looking at a picture of him, Biden, and Obama at look like a basketball game. he looked pretty normal there compared to what he's looking like now, man. That drug usage has rode this fool hard.
Right.
Let's see. Update 9 a.m. today. Or no, let's start. 8:56 a.m. today. Hunter Biden just walked out of court after being found guilty in his gun case, and he was holding his wife Jill Biden's hand. Blah blah blah. And seemed to be in relatively. Oh, his wife and Jill Biden. Sorry, Jill is his. That'd be gross. Jill is his mom. And he seemed to be in relatively good spirits. A sentencing date hasn't been set yet. So, no, he hasn't been sentenced yet. So, you're right. Trump and him have not been sentenced. But he could face up to 25 years.
Okay, I was going to say, I was like...
But the judge reportedly noted sentencing typically goes down about 120 days after a verdict is rendered. So, it hasn't been 120 days yet for Trump either. So,
yeah.
President Biden did address this morning at... was it? So
yeah, because he has the opportunity to pardon his own son, but
Yeah,
he said
so-
he wasn't going to.
just addressed the conviction, saying, in my part, so many families who have had loved ones battle addiction understand the feeling of pride seeing someone you love come out of the other side and be so strong and resilient in recovery. That has nothing to do with the fact that he lied on a gun. Like,
Yeah.
this, okay, so, and it's really ironic that, a son of a liberal gets sentenced for gun crimes. He's breaking laws that they're so wholeheartedly pushing to advance and basically make more of a
Yeah, it's do as I say, not as I do.
and they want to push all these gun control laws and make
Yep.
laws like this harder,
Right.
but it's just kind of backfired on them because now one of their own is getting convicted.
Yep.
Because I'm a fan of background checks. If you're insane or you smoke crack, you probably shouldn't own a firearm. Like, that's just my thought.
Yeah, but the fact that you can lie on it, that's the kind of the...
Well, he got caught lying on it. That's
But
how
that's-
we're here. So-
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing is it should be a way... Like, you should have reference checks and all sorts of other shit.
Well, I was gonna say they ran my background checks. Even at the gun show, I had to sit there and wait. Well, it ran through a system. They would not sell me the gun until the background came back clean.
All right.
And when I went and got my lower, both my 40 cal and then the lower receiver set I got for my AR I built, I had to go. I got both those at a pawn shop, paid a $10 transfer fee, and still had to pass a background check before I left my property.
Damn.
So the only time that their loophole or whatever it is they talk about is as a straw purchase, which is a person-to-person gun sale, which
Right.
you can't. No one at a gun show, if you're walking around and I have put a backpack on, gun for sale, as long as that gun is locked and tagged by the security police officers as you come in other words, it's not loaded and you can't use it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As long as it's locked and for sale, there's nothing that can stop me from selling it to somebody, and I don't have to do a background check. That's the catch. But me personally,
Yeah.
if you can't show me a concealed carry license, I'm not going to sell you a gun because that's my background check. If you have one of those, it sucks because it's kind of registration as well. But if you you can't just go get a concealed carry license. You can't just go and
Right.
pick one up at your local corner store. That requires a full background check, and you are on a government list somewhere once you have it's contradictory for gun rights, but it is what it is. I'd rather be licensed than not.
Yeah, Kayla said in Louisiana you have to wait 48 hours before you can get a pew pew. After your paperwork, they have a cool off period, which obviously works really well for Louisiana.
I know what a cool off period is. It's like, that bitch cheated on me. I'm gonna go fucking get a gat and fucking put two in him and her.
Yep.
Nah, you know what? I totally get the cool off period. I'm sure somebody somewhere has broken enough laws in Louisiana to have a reason for that law, and I do get it. I really do. I understand, and if there used to be was it a 3-day or a 5-day waiting period? I can't remember. It used to be longer than that.
Yeah.
Before you could get your gun. I love Texas because I can walk through a parking lot with an AR. Doesn't mean I will, but I do love the fact that I can.
Right.
Just because you can doesn't mean you should. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But I like that I'm able to. You know?
Right.
That's
if you wanted to.
Yes. If for some reason I wanted to, and obviously not threaten anybody with it, just literally carry it on my shoulder, I can. But again, I'm not an open carry fan. I don't.
No.
I'm not a big fan of those like gun rights activists that run around with their ARs on their chest and say, "Well, it needs to be normalized." No, that doesn't. It doesn't need to be normalized. You don't need to know where my gun is on me when I'm carrying it. It's nobody's business but mine.
Yes, to your point, it doesn't matter because more crimes are done from stolen registered weapons. Yeah.
Well, not according to CNN statistics. Crime overall is down. So
yes.
So we don't have to worry about that. Nobody, like, less people are raping and murdering people. So, less rapers, less murderers. Hey, I have to point that out. It's like, great, we're raping less people. Like, dude, again, that should be like 0.
Yeah,
it should be like 0%, dude. Like, that just, nasty ass fucking.
Yeah, it's the society we live in. Fucking terrible.
Hey, because we forgot.
Dumb people do dumb shit. What?
Oh, our monitor went. Just because we forgot. Hey, y'all, it's gonna be warm this week with no rain.
Oh, it is?
That's the forecast.
Oh shit. Oh, speaking of forecast.
Like, I just ran down it because I just looked at it. It's the same every fucking day.
So just kind of give you guys a little heads up. This spring's tornado season in North Texas has been one of the busiest on record, with an extraordinary amount of rain, thunderstorms, and tornadoes. 35 counties, including Denton, Dallas, and Collin, are all eligible for federal disaster assistance, with FEMA actively providing support. The National Weather Service in Fort Worth has issued 552 severe weather warnings and a nearly 40% increase from last year. So far, 31 confirmed tornadoes have hit the area, making it the 10th highest count since 1950. The severe weather is attributed to a strong ridge of high pressure over Mexico and a low pressure area along the Canadian border. Residents are urged to prepare safety plans as more severe weather may occur this month. Yay!
More severe weather, huh?
So with this spring's tornado season being one of the busiest on record, what steps has you, the audience, taken to basically ensure your family's safety?
I tell you what I haven't done.
What's that?
I haven't cut down that big-ass cottonwood in front of my that's like waiting to murder somebody.
Dude, we joked about that, Don, me, and fucking the Wheelers next door.
I came over that night for the podcast,
and
he, as soon as I walked up, he goes, "Why couldn't it be that damn cottonwood?" I was like, "Because it would fall on straight on my fucking house. That's why." Like, I know you got the corner, but if that cottonwood fell, it'd be right in the middle of my crib. That is no joke.
Yeah, but we were joking around because we're like, dude, that tree is going to be the last tree fucking standing because it's an asshole.
It is. It's the dick tree.
It's an asshole tree.
Man, did you see
what's up?
50 Cent and some other people hosted a Diddy roast?
No.
For charity for domestic violence victims. This is not a dad joke. This is not a joke. This legitimately happened. 50 Cent made it a top priority to be present at a Miami-based roast with sauteed Diddy. Is that like saying they sauteed him? Wait. Anyways, okay. Let me read this correctly. Okay, Miami-based roast, because roast, get it?
Yeah.
With sauteed Diddy on the menu.
There you go.
And he was hoping to see his nemesis in person. 50 Cent was a VIP at a brand new venue, the Dead Flamingo Pop-Ups unfiltered brutal roast of Diddy, hosted by comedians Brittany Brave and Danny Cream City.
Never
I read that right. It's Danny Cream City. Okay. Which sparred the embattled music mogul with no mercy. Brave belittled Diddy's legacy with domestic violence jokes and even threw Meek Mill under the bus. Yeah, there's rumors that Meek Mill and Diddy have been getting down before. All to 50's delight, who was LOLing in the front row. So he wasn't just emojiing that, everyone. He was actually laughing his ass off.
Wait, he was there?
Yeah, 50 was there. 50 was there.
Oh, okay.
50 was there. He was front row for this. He's like, absolutely, I'll donate to this shit. I've been roasting this motherfucker for the last 3 years. Told you, don't go to them Diddy parties. On Instagram, 50 joked he figured Diddy would show his face like Tom Brady did for his record-breaking roast. I would not have.
Yeah,
But
that's
of
why
course
you
it didn't
confused me at
happen.
first because I thought Diddy was actually at the event.
No, yeah, this isn't your normal roast. This was like, yeah, you show up to a domestic violence victims charity.
Oof.
I mean, you know, I get it. They're talking about you, but they're talking about you because you're enslaving,
a piece of garbage.
Yeah, and probably peeing on women like R. Kelly was. Anyways, so he thought, you know, they thought maybe Diddy would show up. It was worth noting he used his classic diss track "Back Down" instrumental to score his recap. So yeah, that's funny. All jokes aside, Brave and the other comics were fundraising for the National Domestic Violence Hotline. So dark humor for sure, but very worthy cause for the dark humor. And it goes on to talk about the docu series that 50 sold Netflix. I don't know when it's going to come out. It's called Diddy Do It, DIDDY. We do have an update from Brittany Brave, who hosted it. She joined TMZ Live on Tuesday and dismissed accusations that the jokes were out of place for a domestic violence event. Let me tell you something, folks. I've been not a victim of domestic violence, but I've been a victim. I don't consider myself a victim because I've never looked at myself like that, but I've been on the receiving side of stuff, unfortunately. And sometimes some of us cope with it with dark humor. It just is what it is. And some of us can laugh at shit that other people be like, oh my God, that's offensive, especially in today's society. I'm going to tell you that right now. But I'm sorry, if you're raising money for domestic violence victims and domestic violence victims are sitting there laughing, shut the fuck up. Let them have their fun and let's raise some money for a good cause.
Right.
Yep. But that's all I have to say about that. But yeah, so that was kind of funny. Diddy getting roasted by his arch nemesis, or he's up front row for at least the audience. Which I'm still anxious to see what's going to happen to Diddy. I'm really wondering if we're even going to see. What am I thinking? Like, I wonder if we're even going to see legal action. I don't think Diddy will ever be on top again. No pun intended. I don't think he'll ever be on top business-wise again, but I feel like he's going to somehow escape punishment on this. And he might take Russell Simmons' course and go to a country that has no extradition. I can't remember where they said Russell went, but he's out of the country too and he insists it wasn't because of the domestic violence or not domestic violence, something else. I think it was sexual violence or something like that, but that's nor here nor there. What are y'all's thoughts on that? Would y'all go and attend a roast of Diddy for charity for domestic violence victims? Do you think that's too dark? Or do you think it's right on par for where America's at these days? I'm talking to you, audience.
You out there.
Let me know what you think, because it has been a quiet evening.
It has been a quiet evening.
You need to call your friends and tell them to come on here and discuss this shit with us.
Kayla raised her hand. She said hi.
I don't know those of you who this might hurt, but I don't know if you follow who Courtney Stoughton is. I still don't know exactly who she is, but apparently, I guess her and her ex-fiance broke up, right? And apparently, I guess this bitch just has money coming out the wazoo because she flushed, absolutely shockingly flushed her diamond engagement ring. And this is a diamond solitaire, folks. This is not this is not a small diamond. 5 carats. She flushed 5 carats down the fucking toilet.
Wow.
On live. Now, as soon as she stopped her live, try to get a snake and fish it back out? We'll never know. She may have called I need a plumber to get that back, but you're flushing 5 carats down the drain and not like trying to sell it even for less than what it was bought for. You are a dumb shit. I mean, even if you've got money, you could take whatever that is and just invest it in something and never look at it again for the next 25 years. And you may end up with $1 million or something. What is wrong with people? Why would you flush a diamond engagement ring? A solitaire at that. Yeah. 5 carats is not cheap, folks. It is not cheap. Again, I don't know who Courtney Stoughton is, but she's dumb. She is stupid. What you looking at over there, Devin?
I'm reading some these stories and headlines.
Stories and headlines, huh?
Yeah, I was reading Apple came out with that Vision Pro thing, and I literally had these thoughts. I'm like, I think this is going to be Apple's biggest fucking failure.
I mean, they've had a couple of them. I mean, there are a couple of them are their phone models at occasion.
Yeah, and so I'm part of the Apple developers. So I watched the developer thing that they just did. I think it was a couple days ago. And they're finally going to get AI, and they're finally going to get Siri to actually do something besides nothing. She's kind of worthless. She's been worthless for the last probably decade. So it's going to be nice if they're utilizing AI and stuff. But then they started talking about some of the new stuff that they're adding to the Vision Pro, and I'm just like, that's not where we're going. I love you, Apple. You make some great products, but I'm just it's first of all, it's way too expensive. Second of all, it's way too heavy for you to be wearing it comfortably around and all that sort of stuff. And third of all, you have to still be tethered to a fucking battery source.
Yeah, the way that they have it tethered.
Yeah.
You're not going to get true buy-in until you can find a self-powered, where it's up here.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I don't even like that we have our phone batteries next to our head that much. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know how I feel but I love technology. I love where it takes us, but I'm just not behind this player one mentality where we just shut the world off and just make it a fake reality in front of us, dude. The world's harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking deal with it. If you have to put proverbial rose-colored glasses on, you know what I'm saying? You can't put those and that's exactly what this is doing. Oh, I can't deal with reality, so I'm going to go ahead and look at it through the rose-colored lenses. You know that old saying? That's literally what they're making available to people.
Glasses, yeah.
Yes, rose-colored glasses, and everything's just unicorns and fucking rainbows. It's not going to be unicorns and rainbows when I run up and kick you in the nuts for being in there. It's still going to hurt, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just not behind that. And yes, you're right. It's a bulky product. It's cool for a concept to use and play maybe some games.
Yeah.
Right? Because we already do the VR in the arcades and we put on headsets. So I get that portion of it. But as a daily use thing, I'm not walking around like that.
Yeah, no, and that's exactly it. And the fact that it's not its own device, it still has to connect to either a computer or a phone.
Yep.
To me, I'm that was another miss. I feel like there's so many misses on this product.
Is it having it has to connect to the network on the phone?
Correct.
So, okay, so that would make sense. It connects directly, so you getting everything on your phone. But, and I know phones are basically handheld computers at this point, but I just feel like there's so much more that could be done with that than just the limits of your phone. You know what I mean? I get it. They rush to put a product out and they're probably going to advance, but they didn't start off on the right foot.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing is you don't come out of the gate with a insanely expensive product that is just lackluster.
Yeah.
If you're going to make it insanely expensive, make it do insanely cool shit.
Make it insanely cool.
Yeah, make it insanely cool.
If you can't make it do insanely cool shit, at least make it look insanely cool. So people want to have this on their face.
Yeah.
Not just the super rich that put on those fucking goofy Astro boots. And
oh, God.
Yeah. No.
They're trying to bring those back, dude.
No.
Did you see Crocs?
Everybody's wearing those Astro boots, man.
I'm so glad I have not seen them out in public. I'd probably kick
I would too. And those Kanye Balenciaga boots,
Yep.
Yeah, no. Those are gay. Which, speaking of that, that means they wouldn't be allowed in the Catholic Church, apparently, according to the Pope. He has doubled down. I don't know if you remember that we talked about the homophobic slur he said a little while ago, but he repeated it. keep gay dudes out of seminaries. Doubled down on it. Pope Francis has yet again used a disparaging slur against gay people behind closed Vatican doors less than a month after apologizing for doing the same thing. According to ANSA, the leading news agency in Italy, the pontiff reiterated the vulgar term while speaking to Roman priests Tuesday, stating, "There is an air of faggotness." Excuse me, sorry, that it is bleated out. I'm only quoting what our Pope said, okay? I do not condone that word. There is an air of, and I'll say effingness on this one, in the Vatican, as he expressed it better be for young gay men to steer clear of seminaries. No doubt it's all a bit disappointing, with no repeat apology as of yet. It'll be interesting to see how this situation is handled moving forward. Now, again, they were originally looking at this Pope as like the new wave Catholic guy because he was saying that, there's no reason that you can't worship. We welcome everyone. But now he's saying to be part of the Catholic Church, or saying preaching our word as far as the seminaries, you shouldn't be gay. For now, when asked about Tuesday's meeting, the Vatican's press office referred to a statement that highlights the Pope's reiteration of the importance of welcoming gay people into the church, even though he's using an F-bomb. Hey, Mercedes, how are you doing? Mercedes had...
My bad.
Saying he used that F-bomb word, and we're not talking about the F-U word. We're talking about the other one. He's saying everybody's welcome, but he's also emphasizing caution regarding their admission into the seminaries, like as far as becoming priests. So, like, what is it? You know what I mean? You were supposed to be the guy that led change, and now it looks like you're just like all the rest. Not that I'm saying, like, you need to change your ways. The Catholic Church has always been what it is, and I'm not a fan of the things that they've done and covered up. But
right
now we're saying, yes, you're welcome, but you're not really welcome, because your people aren't welcome to preach the word. Yeah. But anyways, this happened back in May 20th too as well. He never intended to offend or express himself in homophobic terms, but when you say the F word, you pretty much sealing the fate on there. And extends his apologies to those who were offended by the use of the term, even though he's went and did it again. Even this time around, it's unclear if the Pope realizes he's using a term that's offensive. The word is... Oh, okay. So, no, I'm sorry. In Italian, the word is frog. Frocia. I'm going to spell it. Frociaggine. And so I guess that's Italian for the bad word. But it says Francis isn't Italian. He's Argentinian. So why he used that, we don't know. But yeah, either way, you can't really say you're welcome and then say you're not welcome.
I think what he's meaning is like the church, like the actual priests and stuff.
I get it, but
yeah, he's saying he doesn't want gay priests because they pry on little.
There's a way.
He wants to basically break the.
You're right.
The stigma.
There's a way to say that though, right?
Yeah, clearly not the way he said it.
You know what I'm saying? We can't be like, oh, we can't have a bunch of efforts running around.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
Like, you can't be like, look, everybody, you're welcome, but we.
It was a great idea, horrible execution.
But we cannot have maggots in the seminaries. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yes.
Dude, you could have delivered this, especially being the Pope, in a much more professional and inclusive way, rather than being like, look, the errors of the past have really come out. We know this. I'm making an effort that this doesn't happen further, but then that could be misconstrued like not all gay people are rapists and child molesters. So, I mean, you could argue for any point that you make on this, unfortunately.
Yes, Lindsay said, I'm getting ice cream and milkshakes for the boys from Sonic. Don't know if you guys are wrapping up soon, but do you want anything? Food sounds amazing.
I mean, it's like trying to see how I can tie that into the story, but I can't without being offensive, and I won't. I'm good. I don't we'll be wrapping up in a little bit. It is past 9, but
yeah. Just real quick, I want to talk about two different things, but go ahead.
I want the what was it? It was like something. It had peanut butter cups in it and stuff and things. It was like a Master Blast or something. Master Blast Shake or something. I don't know. It had like a peanut butter core or something like that, babe. Medium. I don't need a big one. I don't need all that before I go to bed this evening.
Right. You don't need that sugar high.
Don't need those calories sitting on my tummy.
All right. So one of the things I wanted to discuss, because I've been kind of watching the automobile industry. As you know, like EV sales are all down. And then Hertz is selling off like 12,000 fucking EVs.
God, that hurts.
Yeah. So do you think...
Go ahead.
It took me a second to catch that. My head was already going on to the next slide.
All right. Anyways.
So do you think it's that like supply demand, like nobody really wants the EVs, or do you think nobody can afford? And I
think it's a combination of both.
Okay.
I think you're getting it from both ends because, number one, we're seeing, let's talk about, EVs as a whole, right?
Right.
We're seeing an increase of people that are having issues with them on long trips. We're seeing an increase of the older ones figuring out that they're going to have to replace their battery. And I know you can find them for cheaper, but the initial price of one of their batteries is $25,000.
Used to.
And
used to be. They're only like $5,000 now.
But yeah, are you getting it from an aftermarket dealer though, or is that coming straight from Tesla?
That's coming straight from Tesla. They're like, about $5,000.
Okay, so what? Elon heard everybody and said, "Okay, I'm gonna help you out." Okay, fair enough.
No, actually, the price of lithium and stuff has gone way down. Yeah,
not in the car audio industry. They haven't cheated. No, they haven't.
Well,
I will argue otherwise.
Well, I'm telling you, what they charge, that's irrelevant. But what the actual mines charge for mining it's literally like it's gone so low that like
so
companies are actually no longer mining for it because it's not cost prohibitive. So like they're actually losing money by mining it. That's how cheap it is right now.
Well, and there's one major place that we get lithium from
exactly
is undervaluing the American dollar because they keep reducing the value of their currency, and that's China. And one of the few places it's legal to mine lithium still. But that's not to get political at all. But yeah, no, lithium. I think it's a combination of both. I think, and then you've got your staunch people that are like, then you got the people that you're right can't afford it, and then you've got your staunch people that are like, I'm not going EV. And the combination between all three of those people, because the hype is starting to fall down. Like even that Cybertruck, like I see them all over the place, but I'm also starting to see the videos pop up of the problems that they have too as well. So they're, the bugs are getting ironed out and people are starting to see them. They're like, okay, this is not as the bee's knees that I thought it was.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were talking about, like utilizing multiple technologies. I think hybrid is still the best. And I know there's a lot of people that argue because it's like, well, you get half of everything. You get half the size of the engine. You get half the size of the battery. So you get basically essentially half of everything. Well, two halves equal a fucking whole. It's like, of course you're going to get half.
That's why hybrids are carry their value so well.
Exactly.
They, I'm not a fan of the EV. I'm not a giant fan of the hybrid, but I'm a bigger fan of it over your EVs.
Yeah, I mean, I like the fact that I can drive to work and not have to worry about plugging the motherfucker in.
And gas mileage.
Like,
I'm sorry, dude. Like, I know some people out there, you drive a what? You drive a Prius, you drive a this, you drive a that.
Oh, yeah, I get so much hate for fucking driving.
Maybe like 20 years ago when gas was still like $1.92, like, even then saving money like would be dope. But the thing is with the way gas is now, and you're giving somebody a hard time because they need to save money, like that's just not a good look. Like, I'm glad you got your V8 and you're dropping 58 to, well, no, I'm sorry, probably closer to $90 every time you fill up.
Yep.
You know what I mean? That's good for you. And guess what? That tank probably on steady driving lasts you maybe 3 days if you are careful on your pedal.
So to kind of break it down, so I spent $600 a month on gas just for the Tundra.
Yep.
Now Prius, same thing. It's $100 to $120 a month. Like I'm literally saving $500 a month. That's a fucking car payment.
That's a car payment
that I'm saving.
Somebody like, you drive a Prius, you can't talk. Are you kidding me? I got $500 more than you do at the end of the month.
Exactly.
Because I chose to get in that Prius. Like,
Exactly. And that's why I have 5 cars now.
You can't, including a fucking FedEx van.
Yeah, Kaylee, you missed that. I picked up a FedEx van.
You need to get that RL out. You need to get that moved.
Yeah, I'm gonna. I think I'm gonna take it this weekend to the mechanic. And
Did you grab that on auction also?
Yeah.
Stop it, Cody. Got that man getting you addicted to that stuff.
Well, at least I know what to buy, unlike Cody.
Devin's got a gambling addiction, but it's not in the casino. Like, I got that deal. Yes.
Yeah.
Payoff. Like, yes, it's very true. He gambles, but it's a different kind of game.
It is like just I gambled on the fucking stock market today.
Because the thing is if he loses out on that bid, he still has the money afterwards. So it's like it's either I got a really good deal or something, or I kept my money.
Yep.
So that's actually a decent way of gambling. Like I didn't buy anything today, but I still got the 500 I showed up with. So
yep,
you know what I mean? Like,
it's a win-win.
Yeah. So I kind of see it, but yeah, that you gotta get that thing going.
Yeah, so I bought the thermostat for it. I just need to get it installed, and then that one I got to tomorrow. Actually, I'm picking up the title for that and the Prius, and so that way I can sell both of them, send them off their way, and then I'll probably end up keeping the FedEx van and then turning it into some kind of a camping. Yeah, it's gonna be dope as shit. I can't wait. I get to build something.
that will be cool. And there's all kinds of videos to give you tips and tricks.
Oh yeah, and I've seen dude, they've turned those things into like fucking zombie apocalypse vehicles, and they look dope as shit.
I was thinking like frilly little balls in a bed that spins around, and like Leon Phelps and the lady.
I don't know about a rotating bed in that.
Or like I want to paint a majestic unicorn and just make it a heavy metal van.
I thought about doing it like the A-Team van. Remember back in the day?
Yeah, but that's a big ass
black and red.
That's a
big ass spoiler on the back of it.
That's a big A-Team van. It's huge. Spoilers way up there. Oh man.
Yeah, see, I've seen it with like
pity the fool.
It's already got off-road tires and shit on it, which is kind of crazy. I was like, now it just needs a lift kit.
Lord Almighty. Devin.
I know. I can't wait to go get it.
Oh my god.
Can't wait to drive it home.
I'm gonna see. I'm gonna see this weekend coming down.
What?
Is she getting something for you?
Who? Oh, Lindsay?
Yeah.
No, I'm good. Thank you though. I think I have food here. I mean, I just bought groceries the other day.
Okay, totally get it. Yeah. No, but yeah. So, what time is it? I'm getting
9:30.
9:30, getting to be about that time. I also gotta break the steel too as well. So
it's all good. We can end it early.
Yeah. Or I mean, technically we've been going later than normal because we've been starting later than normal.
That is true.
Yeah, but tonight we had to. I was still updating even as we went live. So the MacBook. I feel official. I'm in the studio. Man. I got monitors and everything now.
Yeah, you got all sorts of shit. Before you were just looking at one little screen.
I'm a controlling host now. This is crazy. What is this all about? We lose somebody and I get a promotion. It's funny. Oh man, Patrick, if you're watching, sorry, bud. I wonder if he's watching anonymously.
He might be on the Twitch.
Yep. Sorry, this is gonna be Avengers territory now. I'll have Devin's got his DC. I'll eventually get a Marvel picture.
That'll be kind of cool. You'll have the Marvel side and the DC side.
It works.
That's awesome.
It blends together.
Hell yeah. Well, everybody, thank y'all for tuning in. We're gonna call it a night. As you heard, I got a busy fucking schedule tomorrow. Yeah, so we'll catch you next Tuesday. Love you long time, and we will see you in a week.
And if you got an office chair, treat it like a sit and spin. Have fun.
That's so fucking random. What is this?
May you